fortunately for me at the time, there was actually a Gracie chapter grappling school just down the street from the karate school that I was training at, which my karate training had kind of faded, and all I was really doing was kickboxing at the time.
Yeah.
And so I started training with this group of guys, and that's where I learned my base skill. But after a while, I was just the kind of person that was accelerating quickly in this sport, and I'd been at that school for a while, but began to outgrow it. So then I started doing videotapes, and at one point in time, my buddy Josh, he and I were training in the shed in his property, and it was just like a little 12 by 15 or 12 by 20 shed that the lawnmower equipment had been cleared out of, and we threw a little layer of red carpet down, and I think we chose red so that you couldn't see all the blood that was shed in that, was shed in the shed, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're scuffing up knees, and then we had holes in the walls because there was some I don't know what it's called, that old 70s like Formica wood walling that you can put up.
Yeah.
We kind of put that up, and so we had trained there for about a year and a half, I guess, because we were there through 2 summers and a winter, and it was extremely hot and freezing. And then at that point in time, a friend that I knew had opened up a gym in the town that I was living in and said, "Hey, I'll reserve this space for you guys to train." So we actually had a facility to train in, but still no instructors. And I was still, at the time, just working out with my friends. I was watching videotapes, they were watching videotapes, and we would just come to the training sessions with ideas and just work from there. And I trained there for a little while, and it was not long afterwards that I'd run into George.
Yeah. We'll kind of shift gears again. If you get your title back again, do you want to move up to 100 to 205?
That whole Cinderella story, me getting my title back, defending it a couple times, moving up to 205, taking that title, that all sounds great, and I'm not opposed to that. That'd be a great way for me to be remembered when I'm done. But at this point in time, I'm worried about this March 3rd fight, and then beyond that, I'm worried about getting my 185-pound title back. And I think that if I try to lose focus and get my mindset on too many goals at one time, I'm just going to make the mistake of being unfocused.
Yeah. How many fights do you want to have under your belt before you try to get that title back from Silva?
It really doesn't matter to me. I fight this fight. If I win, the UFC says your next fight's for a rematch, then so be it. If
Nice.
I fight this fight and they say we're going to give you one more contender fight before we actually put you in title shot again, then that's fine with me. It's whatever the organization decides to do, I'm game.
All right. Well,
A fight's a fight. It's just me and another guy standing on the opposite side of the octagon trying to beat me.
Yeah. What did you think of a Rampage Jackson coming and not Fedor?
Crow Cop.
I was going to say Fedor. Crow Cop. What do you think about those guys' their entrance to the UFC?
Well, obviously Crow Cop made a big splash, but I don't think he was really tested either.
That's a good point.
Jackson, on the other hand, he had fought Marvin Eastman a long time ago.
Marvin Eastman beat him too.
Yeah, but that was before Quentin Jackson was Quentin Jackson.
Absolutely, yeah. And it wasn't. As you know, probably wasn't a great display of Quentin's skills. He's a great.
He looked a little off his mark that night, and he had, admittedly so, in his post-fight interview and everything. And I was a bit surprised about him saying that he may need another couple fights before he's actually ready to step in there with Chuck, because I believe that's the whole reason why the organization brought him in, is to build that rematch up.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
But I think he's going to, if he was jittery or nervous or whatever the reason was that he was off his mark that night, I think that he'll end up working that out, and he's going to become a formidable, 100 or 205-pound contender.
Yeah, he will be. He's, aside from you're pretty good friends with Chuck, right?
Yeah, he and I talk. I don't call him on a Friday night to see what he's doing. We talk at all the shows. He's a good guy.
The fight with Chuck Liddell aside, with Quentin Jackson, do you think that the American fans are going to take to him like the Japanese ones did?
Take to Quentin?
Quentin, yeah. Aside from his win or loss.
I think so. I think he has a good shtick. He comes in, he's got the chain and the howl, and it's just different, It's something to remember him by. He's got the whole urban look with the camo pants and everything, and there's something there. I think he's marketable.
Yeah, he's totally marketable. Totally marketable. So, all right. Well, Rich Franklin, thanks so much for being on Cage Talk with us tonight. We really appreciate it, and we know you're busy.
No problem, fellas.
Bye-bye.